At the edge of the world, where maps begin to blur and satellite images lose their certainty, there exists a place that few humans have truly seen, yet every human depends on it. It is not marked by flags or borders, not owned by any nation, and not ruled by any king. Still, it silently controls weather, shapes civilizations, decides wars, and remembers everything that has ever lived. This is the living geography of Earth, a vast, breathing system where land, water, air, and time are bound together in ways more powerful than any story of heroes or empires. Long before humans learned to write their history, the planet was already telling its own. Mountains rose not as monuments but as consequences, collisions of invisible plates moving slower than fingernails grow. When the Indian plate crashed into the Eurasian plate, it did not announce its arrival. It simply kept pushing for millions of years, folding the crust upward until the Himalayas pierced the sky. Even today, Mount Everest grows a few millimeters each year, a reminder that the Earth is not finished. Geography is never complete, it is always becoming. Rivers, often mistaken as gentle features, are among the most powerful sculptors on the planet. The Nile, for example, did not just provide water to ancient Egypt, it created Egypt. Each year, its floods carried nutrient-rich silt from deep Africa and spread it across barren land, turning desert into farmland. Without the Nile's precise rhythm, pyramids would never have risen, pharaohs would never have ruled, and one of humanity's greatest civilizations would have remained only sand. Geography was the first architect, humans merely followed its design. Deserts tell a different story. They appear lifeless, but they are archives of climate memory. The Sahara, now the largest hot desert on Earth, was once green. Thousands of years ago, it held lakes, rivers, and grasslands where humans hunted and painted animals on rock walls. Shifts in Earth's orbit changed monsoon patterns, rains disappeared, and the land slowly turned to dust. The Sahara did not die, it transformed. Every grain of its sand is evidence that geography can change destiny without violence, without warning, and without regret. Oceans, covering more than 70% of the planet, are the true rulers of Earth. They absorb heat, store carbon, and generate weather systems that determine who eats and who starves. The Gulf Stream, a warm ocean current, carries heat from the tropics toward Europe, making winters milder than other regions at the same latitude. Without it, cities like London or Paris would face winters as harsh as northern Canada. No human treaty created this advantage, it was granted by geography long before nations existed. Beneath the ocean surface lies a hidden world more alien than Mars. Mountain ranges taller than the Alps stretch across the seabed, while trenches plunge deeper than Everest is tall. The Mariana Trench reaches nearly 11 kilometers down, a place where pressure is so intense it could crush a submarine like paper. Yet even there, life exists, creatures glowing with bioluminescence, surviving without sunlight. Geography proves again that life does not follow comfort, it follows possibility. Forests act as the planet's lungs and memory keepers. The Amazon rainforest produces vast amounts of oxygen and regulates rainfall across South America and beyond. Trees release moisture into the air, forming clouds that later return as rain, a cycle so powerful it creates its own climate. When forests fall, rainfall patterns shift, rivers weaken, and distant farmlands suffer. A tree cut in Brazil can affect crops in Africa. Geography does not respect borders, it connects everything. Islands are laboratories of evolution and isolation. Madagascar, separated from Africa millions of years ago, developed species found nowhere else on Earth, lemurs, unique reptiles, and plants that evolved in solitude. Geography here acted as a wall, but also as a cradle. Isolation protected life, but also made it fragile. When humans arrived, ecosystems that had never known predators collapsed quickly. Geography can protect, but it cannot defend forever. Volcanoes are reminders that Earth's core is alive. They destroy and create in the same breath. When Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, it buried Pompeii under ash, freezing a Roman city in time. Yet volcanic soil is among the most fertile on Earth. Regions around volcanoes often support dense populations because destruction is followed by abundance. Geography teaches a harsh lesson: danger and opportunity often share the same ground. Climate zones divide the world into invisible bands that shape culture and survival. Near the equator, heat and rainfall encourage biodiversity and dense vegetation. Toward the poles, cold limits growth but preserves resources. Humans adapted differently: clothing, housing, food, and traditions all shaped by temperature and terrain. Even belief systems were influenced by geography. Harsh landscapes often produced resilient, survival-focused cultures, while fertile plains encouraged settlement and expansion. Glaciers are Earth's slow-moving historians. They carve valleys, transport rocks across continents, and lock away ancient air bubbles that scientists study to understand past climates. Antarctica's ice sheets hold records stretching back hundreds of thousands of years. When glaciers melt, they do not just raise sea levels, they erase chapters of planetary memory. Geography is not only space, it is time preserved in ice and stone. Coastlines are among the most dynamic regions on Earth. They shift with tides, storms, and rising seas. Cities like Venice, Jakarta, and Miami stand at the front lines of change, built where land meets water. For centuries, coastlines offered trade, food, and connection. Now they reveal geography's warning: the planet responds to imbalance. Rising seas are not acts of revenge, they are natural reactions to warming systems. Mountains divide people as much as they protect them. The Andes shaped South American cultures, while the Alps influenced European borders and languages. Mountain passes determine trade routes, invasions, and isolation. Geography decided who met whom, who fought, and who remained unknown. Even today, satellite technology cannot fully overcome the barriers mountains create. They stand as proof that Earth still sets limits. The most powerful truth of geography is not found in maps or textbooks, it is found in connection. A storm forming over warm ocean water can become a hurricane that reshapes coastlines thousands of kilometers away. Dust from the Sahara fertilizes the Amazon. Melting ice in the Arctic alters weather patterns across Asia and Europe. The planet operates as a single system, not separate parts. Humans often believe they control the Earth, yet every city, road, and farm exists only where geography allows. Earthquakes remind us of moving plates beneath our feet. Floods remind us of rivers reclaiming space. Droughts remind us that climate cannot be negotiated with. Geography does not punish, it responds. For content creators and storytellers, geography is the ultimate source of endless stories. It offers mystery without fiction, drama without exaggeration, and lessons without lectures. Every landscape hides a past, every river carries a message, and every mountain watches civilizations rise and fall. When audiences connect with geography, they are not just learning about places, they are understanding why the world is the way it is. In the end, geography is not about landforms or coordinates. It is about life shaped by Earth's forces, choices influenced by terrain, and futures determined by how well humans listen to the planet beneath them. The Earth has been telling its story for 4.5 billion years. The question is not whether the story is powerful enough for your channel's growth. The real question is whether we are finally ready to listen.